Hey YouTube. Just haven't done a whole lot videos for lots of different reasons. One, I've been revamping the back cave. I'm renovating my entire basement. And so like I have my desk in a different place, and also I really haven't, you know, if you haven't noticed in the last couple of years, most of my videos I try to do are in response to you all, you know, the folks that I interact with here. You know, your questions or comments or opinions to me, and responding and reacting to those. So, you know, it's been very topical, and I've had a lot of people ask me what I think of this election, and I don't really know what to say, because I don't hear either side really talking about anything of substance. Nobody's really talking about foreign policy, the war in Afghanistan, or what to expect from our involvement in Iraq in the next couple years, or you know, the problems with the Israeli-Palestinian issue, or China and Russia, or anything really substantive at all about anything when it comes to foreign policy, or even economic foreign policy. Nothing's really being talked about. The problem with escalated, you know, escalated prices in labor here, and the labor disparity, what we pay for labor and what developing nations are paying for labor. Nobody's talking about that. And nobody's really talking about education, except for in Washington, D.C., where they threw out everybody that was trying to reform education so they can go back to the same shitty education system they had before. And that's on the local level in D.C. So, you know, nobody's really talking about anything. So I don't know what it is, you know. Everybody's talking about Sarah O'Donnell. I think that's her first name. I don't know, maybe I'm giving her Sarah Palin's first name, because everybody's trying to paint her as the Sarah Palin of the East Coast. You know, true or not true, I don't fucking know. I don't really care what the woman did in high school. You know, she dabbled in Wiccanry. You know, I mean, who amongst us didn't pull out a Ouija board, or go to a seance, or do something stupid like that, you know? Or know somebody that was into devil worship, or said they were, or whatever, and now here they are, probably a stockbroker, or a chef, or, you know, a tailor, or whatever. And, you know, 25 years later, for me, or, you know what I'm saying. So I don't really care what Ms. O'Donnell did then. I don't really care what she said on MTV 20 years ago about masturbation. Somebody's views on masturbation doesn't make me vote or not vote, you know. They can't stop me from masturbating. They can't legislate masturbation, so it doesn't matter to me, you know. I'm going to continue to masturbate. And anybody that's bothered by that, you masturbate too. Everybody does. I think she does too, Ms. O'Donnell. And I don't even know why I'm talking about it. I'm just saying that it doesn't matter to me. Nobody's talking about her policies. Nobody's talking about, I think his name is Coons. That's one hell of a politically incorrect last name for politics. That's his name. Nobody's really talking about their policies, and probably nobody's going to, because, you know, if I were one of these two candidates, why the hell would I want to talk to anybody from the opposition? Because they're just going to get straw man, you know, and that's all we get from politics and politicians and the media now, are constant straw mans. And it's not real debate, and everybody points a finger and blames each other. And I mean, at some point the politicians gotta come out and realize that both sides of the aisle just pushed and did some stupid fucking things over the last 15 years or something. And not just here, globally. You know, banks were playing games all over the world with people's money. And, well, you know, at some point we got to address that there were some bad policies coming from both sides, and both sides were playing with our money, making political capital with our money by easy credit rip-offs and allowing this ridiculous hedge fund silliness that was going on. And you know, I mean, at some point you got to see the stock market doubling in 10 years and real estate prices going up 4 and 5 times over the course of a small... I mean, who didn't see something coming? You know, I mean, what person that has done any reasonable study of economic history doesn't know that when prices rise that quickly on everything, that something's got to give. And the things don't value that quickly. So, you know, I just wish somebody would come up with something other than let's print money and throw it at it. And I wish I would hear some original ideas, but I'm not hearing anything substantial from either side. And, you know, I don't know what it is anybody wants to ask me, you know. You know, people ask me what I think of the Tea Party. I don't even think the Tea Party knows what to think about the Tea Party, you know. There are 20,000 different little splinter groups, Tea Party of Maine, Tea Party Express, Tea Party Train, whatever the fuck it is, you know. But there's all these different Tea Party groups that stand for different things and have different agendas. So I think the Tea Party in general are just, you know, people that are angry for different reasons. You know, I think you have your Glenn Beck, Sarah Palin, conservative values groups, and I think you have a lot of people out there that, you know, I know some people that are Tea Party people, and I tease them about that, but, you know, these people are atheists, and these people could give two shits less about the social implications of you know, the right wing in this country. You know, they're seeing $14 trillion projected debts, and they're seeing municipalities and states throughout this entire country going into debt. And they're really concerned about the solvency of our currency and our economy. And I think that's valid. So, you know, what do I think of it all? I really have yet to hear anybody, any politician, or any pundit really say anything of any kind of substance other than straw man bullshit. You know, Islamophobia and the new McCarthyism, and it's all silliness, it's all hyperbole. And, you know, an issue can't come up in this country without some group making an extreme hyperbolic comparison to some other point in history, and it doesn't matter whether it's, you know, Glenn Beck and calling Obama Stalin or Hitler, or it's, you know, Chris Matthews talking about the McCarthyism that we're dealing with, you know, that they say we're dealing with Islam, when that's not true. The statistics show that's simply not true. It's like anti-Semitic attacks, according to the FBI, like outnumber, you know, attacks against Islamic people, you know, not even a racial group, like 6 to 1, and like blacks, it's like 12 to 1 over. You know, so no, in this country we're not Islamophobia, and it's not a problem. Nobody's asking for committees, and nobody's asking to throw and deport people out of this country because they're Muslim. It's not McCarthyism, and it's just silly. You know, and Barack Obama's not a communist, and there's nothing to indicate that he's a Marxist at all. And, you know, it's these kind of silly things that just don't make any sense to me. And, you know, right now they're the only things dominating the conversation, and that's why I have absolutely no fucking opinion on this election at all. None whatsoever. You know what I'm talking about, Ken Erg. How you doing, Ken Erg? Me and Ken Erg have a question with Don't Ask, Don't Tell, right? So if it's Don't Ask, Don't Tell, some people come out and say they're gay, they told, so they get discharged for it. But if you ask somebody if they're gay, has anybody been discharged for that? Because I know within the ranks that they ask each other these questions. So do they get discharged for asking? Is that what happens? I don't think they do. What do you all think about that, the Don't Ask, Don't Tell? I think Don't Ask, Don't Tell is silly. And I think that anybody who wants to pick up a weapon and defend this country should be allowed to do so.